I'm making this video because I'm dealing with working on my stability. And, you know, when you are a child and you're growing up with no knowledge of how things work, it can be super, like, it can make you kind of want to just pull your hair out, you know? Because just imagine you're going through life and you're optimistic and you do things the right way, but yet it seems as though everyone around you can do the wrong thing, including sabotage you, and then kind of just get away with it, you know? And I realized that before I've come into my self-awareness that everybody in my life was trying to destroy my stability. And the situation I'm in today is because I was under the impression that there are people that I could trust, and I couldn't. And it's just kind of heartbreaking in a way, you know, to know that, like, people, like, they don't even want you to have a pot to piss in. Like, they literally want you on the street. And when you don't think like that, when you don't have that kind of malicious attitude towards people, like, personally, despite the fact that all of these people have come against me, I still don't have it in my heart to feel that I need to be like, oh, I want you to struggle and be homeless too. Like, I don't feel that. I'm just heartbroken because it's like the fact that they would feel such a deep resentment towards me to the point of causing me to be in a situation of death or homelessness. And you just kind of have to deal with the betrayal sometimes, and you have to roll with the punches. And what I've learned is that as hard as I've been working, you just kind of have to try to be grateful for the small things while you're fighting the war, because it's consistent, man. Like, some of these people, they have literally no life. It's like their entire life is based around trying to ruin your day, and you're just like, how do you have this much time to like mess with me? Like, how do you have this much time to talk to other people? And it's just like, and I'm over here just trying to like get myself together, and like there's people that spend, you know, all this time arguing and bullshitting and screwing people over for what? For what? And then that's the thing, it's like at the same amount of energy that you're going to use to go after somebody is the same amount of energy you could have used to make yourself better, to put on yourself, to gain another skill. But instead you chose to use the energy to go after someone who wasn't even calling for you. Like, I wasn't, I just, you know, it's one thing where it's like you punch somebody in the face and then you get punched back in the face, right? It's a completely different thing, and somebody just comes up and punches you in the face for no fucking reason, and you're just like, what? Like, why do I always have to turn my cheek, you know? And it gets frustrating, it gets overwhelming, and, you know, you want to be all frustrated about it, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's what they want. They want you to want to pull your hair out. They want you to go insane. They want you to feel invalidated. They want you to self-sabotage and throw yourself in a pit. They want you to get erratic and crazy and get road rage. They want you to go through life, you know. It's just like, and that's the thing, it's just like, get even sometimes when you're dealing with like a certain kind of energetic warfare, like there's just like, there's this vortex that you get pulled into, right? Where it's almost as if you're getting attacked on all corners and you don't understand why, and it's very weird, and it's very weird. It's just like the whole fucking Matrix just wants to turn against you at one moment sometimes, and you're just like, what the fuck, you know? And that's the thing, like, you gotta take the signs. You gotta take the signs. What the? I'll say this over and over again. I'm only here because for some reason God wants me to be here. Okay? He just like, listen, I wasn't like, I've never been a religious person. Okay? I'm not like that at all. Okay? You won't see me at church ever, most likely. I mean, unless I gain a community and start going to church one day, but I don't know. I'm not a church person, you know? And so the way he reached out to me, it made me realize, like, the religious things, they're not as important. And, you know, I went to church because, like, in my journey into figuring stuff out and trying to gain self-awareness and all that stuff, I went to a church and I never felt so uncomfortable, like, because you know, you can tell when someone has evil energy. Like, there's just this look in their eye where you know that is like an energy vampire, or that. And the thing is that it takes time of getting to see the pattern and recognizing these kinds of people, because not all people are the same. Not all people are good. Actually, a lot of people are bad. A lot of people are bad. And the problem is that, like, good people, I feel like they get so surprised at how much bad there is. But you must realize, like, you know, Christianity, or if you believe in Jesus or whatever you believe in, you know, like the whole Ethiopian Bible and Christian religion, if you believe in that, then you're a small percentage of the world, okay? There are still large sects of the world that still believe in paganism and have nothing to do with that, with Jesus and things like that. And you'd be surprised at how many people are not involved in looking at morals from the perspective of of a Christian way. And that's what I had to understand, that, like, people are actually out here doing very evil things, and you have to protect yourself. You have to, if you are, you know, if you don't want to be subject to certain things, you have to consistently pray. You know, like, you think Muslims praying 6 times a day is bad. No, pray without ceasing, dude, because sometimes it gets so bad. It gets so bad. And, you know, I realize it's like, a lot of times, like, people be like, oh, you know, bad things happen to them, so that's karma. But it's kind of like not true. It's like in the Bible, Jezebel and Ahab, they sorry, I had to get myself together. So in the Bible, you know, and the thing is that I was upset, like, because I wasn't upset. I was kind of confused because I heard God say to me, "You will suffer." I thought, what the fuck? I didn't do anything to anybody. Why would I suffer? What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, that's such a fucked up thing to say. In a way, right? Like, why would you say you will suffer, right? And then a couple days come by, a week flies by, and I'm getting like these confirmations, right? About what he meant by that. And what he meant by that was Jesus was the spotless lamb, and yet he suffered. And despite the fact that he did nothing wrong, so many people attacked him simply because he was great, simply because he did things differently. And that's what we're seeing a lot of today, that you get attacked for being different. You are misunderstood constantly, and no one is checking to find out the truth, you know? And the same thing, you know, there's lots of stories in the Bible that explain these kinds of situations that are pretty horrible. Like, there's even one story where, you know, this, I forgot the whole, the whole thing, the whole names and all that, but there was like this one story in the Bible where this, I guess this father or something was giving his daughter away to this man or something like that, or maybe it was her uncle, I'm not sure. But then, and he told them to stay for a few days because he kept having a weird feeling about letting her go. But he couldn't figure out what that weird feeling was because the guy was like acting so like proper and good and all that stuff. And then, you know, they were there for a few days and whatever, and everything seemed fine. And so, you know, he let her go, and the man, you know, sold her off to get raped for something, and then they chopped her up in tiny pieces and killed her and chopped her up in little pieces and raped her and destroyed her body. And so, you know, there was no way she was going to be safe. So this guy was not protecting her. He was using her as something, as money, essentially. You know, he was using her as money. Oh, here's a woman, I'll take this. You know, he traded her off for something. And those men did whatever they wanted with her. And, you know, those men certainly weren't men of God. And we must realize that there are a lot of people that are not of God. They're evil, and they will do anything to you. They will do things that are unheard of, unspeakable things. And the thing is that people are naive to this, and they don't understand that. And the thing is that people act like, oh, why are you being so paranoid? And it's like, my paranoia is the only thing has kept me alive, because my paranoia is the only thing that has kept me alive. And that's been a lot of the thing, you know. My paranoia has only kept me alive. And so, you know, and then we go further into the Bible, and we look at another story where Jezebel and Ahab, you know, they go after this vineyard farmer who had this vineyard in his family for generations, and it was supposed to stay in his family. And Ahab offered him money and whatever, and the guy was like, no, it was in my family, I'm going to keep it in my family. And it was a very reasonable thing to say. Like, you can't just go up to someone and say, hey, I want whatever you have, and then just take it for them. And because the thing is that you don't even value it the way that they do. You just want it you're just an outsider looking in, and you don't understand the responsibility that goes into it. And so, you know, it's like, they see, they're jealous of it, and they see how beautiful and wonderful and fruitful this vineyard is. And so, you know, Jezebel comes up with a plan to, you know, get the vineyard by committing the sin one of the biggest sins ever is slander. False witness. It is the biggest sin. Because when you say something with false witness, when you are slandering someone, what you are saying is, I don't care what happens to you. Slander is essentially murder. It's the same thing because it can cause the same thing. And at the end of the day, that vineyard guy was stoned to death and the farm was given to them for free. They just took it off of a lie. And I need you guys to understand how many people go down because of a lie, because of some emotional person that said something in an emotional manner, and just said whatever they said, and there was no let's weigh this story out and get both sides and actually figure out what's going on. The biggest sin in the world is false witness. It's like when a woman tries to destroy a man's life by saying that he raped her. You're literally putting this man away for life with a lie. You're destroying someone's life with a lie. Some people don't realize the significance of what they're doing, and that's another thing. Men do the same thing to women. They'll talk about how they slept with this woman, how she's a slut, or whatever the case might be, or they'll twist a situation to, she's crazy, right? The woman that used to get lobotomies simply because the husband said she's crazy, and now she's gone. Oh, get her a lobotomy. And this is what I'm saying. False witness can destroy people's lives entirely, and that is the intention. So just realize that false witness is almost, it's the same as murder. It's the same as rape, because the effect could be exactly the same. What happens if in this era of false witness, you have social media, you go after somebody and someone can get killed simply because somebody who's a fan crazed believes something that wasn't true and decided to take judgment into their own hands. This isn't the most exciting video, but people are just very not self-aware and not realizing what they're doing. And it's like, it sucks because a lot of people only learn when these things happen to themselves, and they only care when these things happen to themselves. And that's kind of a big issue. The biggest sin. It can be worse than killing somebody at times. Your tongue is dangerous. What you use it to do, it can shift worlds. Entire empires destroyed by a woman, by male two men fighting over a woman, and people want to sit here and just fucking use their words like they're just whatever. Freedom of speech is great. But I also have the freedom to make sure that what you're saying is true and weighing the facts. We have a justice system, okay? Because, sometimes people abuse things, and because of that, it has to be in place, okay? It has to be in place because people can say whatever the fuck they want to say. I learned a lot from everything that I'm dealing with, and maybe one day when I'm out of this and I can actually look back, I'll be able to really talk about my journey and experience and make people understand certain things and also teach certain things, because I feel like a lot of the problems I dealt with is why a lot of people have problems nowadays. And if people like me became more assertive and we had more power, the world would be a better place. I just, I want people to stop being so naive into thinking that, you know, everybody has your best interest. It's not true. And most of the time, not very many people are going to have your best interest. Okay? There's a reason why you have to be with people who are equally yoked. Okay? Because when you are not with people who when you're not with people who are equally yoked, there unfortunately tends to be a lot of jealousy, right? It's like when the pretty girl hangs out with a bunch of regular girls, right? She'll either be the queen bee, or all the group will try to bring her down if she's too nice, right? You know, and you know, try to make her feel less than. And that's the thing, you know, a lot of us us ladies out here, you know, we have low self-esteem because, you know, we got to understand, people purposely will say things to you to have your self-esteem lowered, simply because they think that you might have too much confidence or something like that. And it's actually very interesting because I never felt the need to just like insult someone to raise my confidence or to feel better than them. It's just like, it's shocking the way things are, and if you don't have family that set you up for success, you're already set up for failure. And that's kind of what happened to me. Like, I was set up for failure. I was set up for failure from the start, from the very beginning. And it really sucks because I was really left for dead. And when you get older, you realize how true that really is. So, all right. Have a good day.